All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great weekend as well. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. Happy Monday. I'm doing great, man. Hope everybody else is as well.
All right, excellent, guys. Happy Monday to everyone. Let's see what we have in our market pulse this morning. See what we have coming up for this week as we get started on another week of trading. I see we got quite a bit of a gappers list this morning towards the upside. A few in the red. Our buddy Kodak is on here, CODK. So we'll see what that's up to. I mean, that's been crazy to watch for the last couple of days. So we'll see what's happening there. But for the most part, a lot on the green this morning. Norm, let's take it to the market pulse and kind of see what's going on today.
Yeah, we'll see. We've had some pretty strong weeks. SPY is just below. It's like a percent or so below its all-time high. So should be interesting. Relatively flat this morning. It's up less than 0.1%. Yeah, okay, gappers list still sitting here in earnings season for second quarter. No significant economic data today other than job openings number will come out at 10 a.m. There is a lot of info coming out later in the week. Should be interesting to watch that. So kind of a quiet morning as of the moment.
All right, excellent. Let's take a look, guys, at what we have on our gappers list. Let's start a little bit early here because we have a lot to get through, and I want to see if there's anything good here that we can come out of from this pile we have. Let's start with what's gapping down today. We have Kodak on here, KODK this morning. Again, guys, this stock it had a couple of moments here where it traded very well. The first 2 days after that has not been pretty much clean. It's been very choppy. We have a big gap down this morning, 40% after consolidating, trying to hold this $15 mark here. Again, it looks like we're just heading back down to its normal trading range of $2.94 or $3, whatever that is. But again, I'm not seeing anything great here, and it's one that I won't keep on my list. We don't have shares for short. I think this was the fun might be over on this one. KN.
Yeah. So well, they do have news. So the catalyst that popped this stock with its crazy days that you see there in the past, the catalyst was a roughly $750 million loan or grant from the U.S. government to start getting into drug ingredient manufacturing. And it's come to light that there was some shady activities going on with insiders getting stock options and such the day before this was announced. Obviously, those options just increased in value enormously. The SEC's looking into them. And because of that, that loan is on hold and may be pulled back. So, yikes.
Yeah, that's it's not good. It's hard to pull that stuff off nowadays, man. Everything's being watched, so not good for them here. They're down 40%, and I don't think that again. I think the fun is over. This might be dropping back down until they come up with something else to get into. Let's look at electric cars or something. No, something's coming up next on that. KNDI, guys. This one is Candy Technologies here. They don't have a great pre-market action. They are down 4% this morning, 190 on the volume. For the most part, this stock also had a great day here. It was 2 weeks ago or so. A nice little pop here, then a nice drop after gapping up huge. Great pre-market action. Some of people took actually some pre-market trades on this one and made out okay. But for the most part now, it's just been chopping around. I don't think anything great out of it right now, Norm, unless you have any news that can be exciting on this. But for the most part, I think this is
they had earnings they had earnings this morning. It's a Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer, so not really my cup of tea. But and the earnings, I don't have estimates to go off of. They're obviously dropping a little bit. Their earnings look like they were good year over year, but dropping 4.5% on that. So,
all right. And they do have earnings. We'll keep it on here. Again, that's a possible, guys. I'm not probably going to watch this one, but let's see how that earnings news is going to play it out at the open here. All right, let's see what's gapping up. We got quite a bit on here, starting with Omer, OMER. They are gapping up 48%. Pretty nice pop here, 348,000 on the volume. So pretty good, decent volume activity right now. The pre-market action, price action, though, this one here doesn't not look as great, guys. So again, not really liking what I'm seeing here. Also, if you look at the spread right now, right, you got some good volume, but the spread is pretty bad as well. Could be the reason what's causing this horrible pre-market action. Also, we're seeing about at some points 20 cents here, at some points 30. So again, not the greatest type of of a spread you want to see on a stock like this. Norm, any news on this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So they've got a COVID therapeutic that they were doing a study on. I believe everybody in there was in pretty bad shape with COVID on respirators and such, and it cured everybody in the study, and everybody got up and walked out. Now, that having been said, digging in just a little bit, I think it was 6 people, but that maybe it was more, and I'm just seeing part of the study, but that's what I saw on the surface.
Got it. Now take a look, guys. Today could be a difference maker for this stock. For the most part, they only trade about 1.7, looks like 1.3, no more than 2 million shares on a regular basis on their daily overall chart. This is why this chart looks so horrible. It is not a low flow stock sitting at 52 million, but you can see how horrible this thing trades. And part of that is because of such the light volume, right? Only 500K on most days here between May, June, July, and August. So today already, they already have 385. So already have almost half of what their normal daily activity is. So that kind of tells you today could be the difference maker for this one. I'm going to put it over here as a possible. That's also great news if they can react on that. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of action we're going to get out of it today. But again, look at the spread now, almost 40 cents just for a minute ago. So again, that is scary. That's got to get better. If not, it's not going to be a good player today.
They've got a somewhat elevated short float at 20%. So not super high. When it starts getting 30 and above, that's when it's really kind of crazy, but 20 is not low.
Yeah, it's not low, especially after you gapped up today 47%. You know, I'm sure a lot of people are in a tough situation right now. They thought this thing was going to go down here. Let's look at WIMI, WIMI. This one, again, guys, just look at the daily on this thing. It's really all over the place. It is a low flow stock sitting at 12 million shares. I thought it was lower before, but 12 million right now, and you can see just the action. It is not clean at all. We had a couple of clean days here that looked okay, but for the most part, lately has been trading pretty crappy. If this was not a low flow stock, I love the way this daily setting up here for a possible breakout situation here around looks like the 1056, 1057. But again, there's nothing clean about this right now. If this gets better, throw it back out to us. But right now, nothing exciting there. Foot Locker just popped up on the scanners here. They are up 16%, 331,000 shares traded. Norm, any earnings this morning?
Yeah, they had earnings this morning. They had better than expected results. I guess all those people that I see walking outside my window are having to order new shoes because they're wearing theirs out.
Makes perfect sense. People buying gear, personal gear for their own workouts and going outside and all that. So yeah, this thing is popping up nicely. Now, Foot Locker, guys, we traded this one before in the past when it has had news. It is not an easy stock to trade. It is very choppy. Nicey. It is, it's a nicey stock as well. Let's see. Hopefully, it can give us some opportunities. But if you find yourself being stopped out and not like pins a couple of weeks ago, it was just horrible. You just couldn't get a move out of this thing, right? It was just not trading well. So be on the lookout for that when it comes to Foot Locker. We'll add it to the list because we have traded that one in the past before. CGC making an appearance after a long time not being on our list here, up 10% this morning, 444. Again, another one of these sectors that were really hot a while ago with all the Kron and CGC and Tilray. Any news on this one this morning? They got some pretty good volume.
Yeah, they had earnings this morning. They've been restructuring to try to cut their costs, which seems to be helping out a little bit. And also, I guess, demand for weed during the pandemic has helped them as well. So,
yeah, this thing should be a lot higher, that's for sure. But yeah, guys.
Did you mean that? Was that pun intended?
I caught it after the fact. It was not intended at all. I caught it after the fact, but yeah. So CGC, guys, it looks good right now, pre-market wise. Got some good volume. We do have some pretty good levels here on the daily that we have hit before, around 19. We're getting to a nice range on the daily, so I like what I'm seeing here. We're kind of in the middle of it, looking strong at the moment, up 10%. That's a lot for this stock. We'll definitely keep an eye on this one. DOYU, excuse me. This one I was active last week as well. They had a nice run up, gapped up here, but gave a lot of it back on this day. Again, it was pretty extended. Today at the moment, pre-market's not looking all all that great. We do have volume, but just look how this volume is being traded. Not as clean as per se as we want to see here. It is up 8.1 this morning. Again, I'm on the fence on this one, guys. It's a stock that if you look at the several opens, does not trade very well. Again, last week on this drop was clean, but look at it here. This was Friday. Also, it had a nice pop, and after that, just volume dies down. Again, it just doesn't trade very, very clean. But I like the pop today. Possible continuation here if we can continue to get above this pre-market high. So I'm going to put it down today, but might not stay here. Let's just see how things develop as we get closer to the open here.
So I just want to hop in here and apologize. Yeah. I was incorrect. Foot Locker didn't release earnings. They gave they pre-announced kind of and gave guidance. Their earnings are not until I believe the 21st. So AJ M on YouTube, thank you for correcting me.
Excellent. Yeah, and actually guidance is sometimes even more important on a lot of these cases. We talked about how you can have bad earnings, absolutely. Good earnings, and guidance is the one that really drives things. So especially
right now.
Oh, especially now, yeah. So we'll keep that on there. VXRT is next on our list. This one, again, guys, has been very active. We've seen a couple of great plays. This is a stock that can be a hit or miss. Can start off very nice, can be very choppy. It can hit all kind of ranges when it comes to their market open. Very unpredictable. But if you're patient, you can catch some opportunities. Today we got some good volume on it, 591. I'm really liking their daily, holding on to this $9 price target here, price level. That has been a great support for this stock. You can see over the last couple of days, really holding on to that after a beautiful drop here. Again, this thing came down all the way from 17 down to $9. So possible run opportunity, but this pre-market action, guys, not looking all that great just yet. Let's see if that thing can tighten up on the spread and get a little bit better. I'm going to put it as a possible for now. VXRT. Let's do two more and then we'll take it to the room. JMIA. This one here, guys, again, daily looks good. We have traded this one in the past before. It is a former player for us. Let's see how it has been trading. Again, rough start on Friday here, guys. Not the cleanest thing ever, but you can see the pop out of nowhere. So again, that tends to be kind of scary when you get these pops with no indication at all. And that has been the way this thing has been trading. So I'm on the fence on it. I'm gonna add it on here, but I'm sure we'll get something better. We'll probably remove it from this list. I'm just gonna look down and see if there's anything else that we have been looking at lately that we should consider looking at. Let's take a look at NEO. What is that up to this morning? Not much. Continues to just be choppy in this area, guys, on the daily. And then I'm going to look at Twitter, and then we'll do one more FSLY. It's just something we've been watching quite a bit. Twitter's looking good, guys. Twitter right now, 712,000, which is a lot of volume for Twitter, to say the least here. And we're basically had a nice gap up, looks like this morning, but almost giving it all back today. So interesting action there on Twitter. Again, you got this area of resistance here around 40.29. It was a prior area where we couldn't get above. We hit that this pre-market, and we're just slamming down again. So Twitter looks interesting. I'm going to add it on here. And then the next one I wanted to check was FSLY. This is one that we have been looking at closely. And again, giving us some really good opportunities, guys. Look at it Friday. Just look how this thing dropped. Just an amazing trade here towards the short side. And today, not doing much right now. Very light on the volume. We are up 2.6, but again, not a whole lot going on right now. I'm going to add it on here. Could be on the choppier side today, but again, after a great drop yesterday, hopefully we can get some action out of it in continuation. Norm, what do you like this morning?
Still looking, buddy. Frankly, I'm not in love with anything. Twitter might be interesting. That's on news of them and being interested in going after TikTok. So now they're in the fray as well. You got Microsoft, Apple, I think maybe was in the running, talking about it, rumors of it, Twitter. So.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. If you look at this watch list, guys, and what we have so far, not a lot here looks great. Hopefully things get better at the open. Do you taking a drop here? But right now, it is definitely not a killer start to our watch list today. All right, let's see what the room is watching. Let's start with Moose Driver. He is giving us Facebook this morning. Again, as Norm mentioned, I think Facebook, Twitter, Apple, all these stocks are really going to be somewhat in play for the next couple of days. Facebook has been just incredible, guys. On Thursday, you guys remember, had a huge pop here. Great continuation right into Friday. They give some back. Still on a nice, somewhat of an uptrend here right now. Pre-market actually is really all over the place, though, and the volume is very light. So that's Facebook. I'm going to take a look at Apple. Apple actually looks amazing, guys. Take a look here what we have on Apple. Look at this pre-market action at the moment. Their daily looks clean, possible continuation and breakout. This stock has just been incredible. I like the way they look today. I'm going to keep it on here. Looks like they want to probably hit 500 before their split comes up. So interesting what's going on there. Let's look at Tesla next. We're getting Tesla from, I skipped a few people. Let's go back up here. All right, Ron, we have Apple, good. Oh yeah, Tesla is next. All right. See what's going on with our buddy Tesla here. So Tesla just has been stuck within this consolidation over the last couple of days. I have not been watching the price action on it again because it's just way too expensive now, sitting at $1,400. But look at the drop on Friday. This was very clean here, guys. So if you were watching this, you could have played it out lovely. Again, just kind of stuck between this 1,500, the top of this range, 1,520 or so, and the bottom, right? Just kind of bouncing back and forth between here. Again, it's at the bottom of this range now. I don't think this stock is weak. It might just be consolidating to get more strength. Or if it does lose this here, it will be interesting where it's going to find the next support here. Got some moving averages coming in here. So again, the daily looks somewhat interesting for a possible breakout one way or the other. But within this range, you're still getting some good movement. Again, it's just so expensive. Let's look at D-Dog. We had D-Dog active last week. What is it doing today? Big drop on them yesterday. This was the short play, definitely of the day on Friday, guys. Just look how beautiful this thing was. And look how great this level here, the high of the pre-market, tested at, could not get above that, and then just slumps down nicely. As far as now, pre-market, guys, is pretty much dead at the moment, only 85,000. It is up 2%. Possible continuation though. It had a big drop on Friday, so I think you can get some kind of movement up or down here. We usually see, again, this is my just think based on all the stocks that we have looked at. When you get this drop like this, you usually get a small pullback, right? 2%, whatever the case may be. Here, it can be hit or miss. You can get some chop around, people trying to figure out, okay, what's going to happen next? Are we going to bounce back up from here? Are we going to continue to drop? So be aware of any chop that happens here. I'm going to put it as a possible. It might not be tradable today, right? It might need a couple of days to kind of consolidate and decide what's the next trend play here, next move. Let's take a look down at a plug. Now, again, I'm not a fan of plug, guys, but we'll look at it. I know it's one that has been very, very active. This morning, 504 on the volume right now, up 5.7. But again, just the way the stock has been trading, guys, again, it is just not clean. And I'm not talking about just about going back and looking at the action now. You got to sit there and look at the price action. It is very unpredictable to read. At least for me, it is. So again, just be careful on it. I know the day looks exciting here. We do have a possible breakout above 12. 507, some pretty good volume. That volume is not trading well though in the pre-market. Look how choppy this is. You got one candle here. We're sitting with 109,000. So you got a lot on there already. Again, I'll add it here because I know a lot of people are going to be watching this one, but I am really not a fan. All right, let's look at a few more. WKHS. All right, what do we have here? So this one. Pre-market is really choppy right now, guys. You got some volume here, 240. It's not really up or down. It's pretty much flat. It probably was up about 1%, maybe 2 here. But for the most part, pretty flat right now. Let's see what it did on Friday. Friday, it looks like the price action was not that, the trading action was not that clean neither, guys, based on these wicks. So again, I'm not sure what to expect on it. I'm not seeing anything great on the daily as far as technicals, any type of breakout, or it's just pretty much flat right now. Unless it decides to break down here, it can create some opportunities. But I'm going to pass on this one for right now. If things get better, I'll definitely throw it back out to us. MCRB. MCRB, wow, huge pop on MCRB here. What's the float on this? Thing's going from the lows of, 490 this morning. MCRB up to 17. So 43 million shares flow. It is not a low flow stock, but today you want to treat it like one because the way it's moving, guys. So 9 million shares traded now.
They just had a press release about positive results on a colon infection treatment. Sounds shitty.
All right, so, yeah, guys, I'm not sure about this one. Again, these type of stocks, you want to be very careful with the spread. It seems to be jumping around quite a bit there, so be mindful of that if you're going to trade this in the pre-market. Also, if you're going to trade this at the open. So, again, it is active. I'm not going to tell you it's not. I'm going to put it down here as the most risky stock that we have on deck right now. It's got some good volume. Look out for the spread. This thing is moving very aggressively right now. For the most part, it does not trade very well. Obviously, they have some news that's costing us a breakout here.
Yeah, check out Nikola, NKLA, just went wild in the last 4 minutes.
This is a former one that we have traded quite a bit in the past. Had a beautiful support here at 20, guys. You guys remember that? And then gave a indecision date, and the following day had a huge breakout. We had a lot of fun here on Nicola. I love the daily right now. I'm not sure what's happening, but it looks like it might want to be breaking out here. Let's add it to the list.
Company just ordered 2,500 garbage trucks from them to be delivered in 2022 or 2023. That just came out.
All right, so got some nice volume here, guys. 386 just now on this one candle here. So let's see if this news can break things out and get this thing going. Again, this thing has ran pretty nicely before, as high as 75, 80, 90 here. So we're at 36. Let's see what kind of action we're going to get. Again, I don't think we're going to get there, but that means this thing does have the juice and power to get going if it wants to today. All right, let's head over to, let's see what else we have here, guys. I'm going to do two more here, then we'll look at our YouTube list. ACB, let's take a look at that. We have CGC here. ACB for the most part not moving all that well, guys. I think we have 65,000 up 3.2. Very choppy pre-market action, very choppy daily too. The daily's not all that great right now, so I'm going to skip on this one. Again, I see what you're looking at, the breakout here on the daily. So again, it has found some support, but again, I'm just not sure it has the right volume right now to make that happen. All right, let's take a few over on YouTube, and then we'll go over to announcements. IBIO is being thrown out by a few people. I think someone in our chat also threw that one out. Or at least was talking about it earlier today. IBIO right now, guys, yes, you do have a nice pop here, 3.8 million shares traded. Now, here's the thing for me on these type of stocks. This type of daily, to me, I don't like trading stocks that look like this, right? There's really all over the place. For the most part, not a whole lot of volume down here relative to what they're able to do. So again, I'm just not sure what we're doing here. Also, sitting on the American exchange, 3.8, and look how this 3.8 is trading. That, to me, creates difficulty in reading the price action. So again, that's just my thoughts and the way I look at it. I see we're looking at here, possible breakout above this 475. We could do levels on it, guys, but again, IBIO is not one that I personally like at all to trade. All right, let's see. Let's do one more. Mike NKLA, we do have. That one is on here. So again, that one's very active right now. It looks like it wants to break out. Hopefully it doesn't get too extended before the market open. FedEx and then SRNE. Let's take a look at FedEx here. FedEx right now doesn't have volume, guys. They had a great day on Friday. Unless they have any news for today, I don't see a whole lot of volume. But look at Friday here. Nice breakout. Really got going above that 175. But I'm not seeing a whole lot right now on FedEx. SRNE. Let's take a look at that one. Also, nice pop here, 6.1. Pre-market is really all over the place. This stock could be a hit or miss. I'm going to put it as a possible because it can trade very well. We have taken advantage of it. But at some points, it can also be very choppy. But again, you got a beautiful breakout here. The daily looks good. I like that we're up 6% here. I don't like the way the pre-market looks right now. Hopefully, it can get better. But again, we got some pretty good volume on this one this morning. All right, guys, let's get into our announcements, and we'll come back and fine tune this list. We have a lot on here, guys, but a lot of it's going to come off. There's some stuff here that do not look great at all. So we're going to take a lot off this list here, and we'll see if anything else looks better as time develops here.
All right, guys. So weekly rundown, we go through this every week. This is a general schedule with COVID and everything going on. We actually have more than this, for instance, and I'll get to that in a second. Brian's swing trade review is generally Mondays, 2:30 p.m. in the room. He's actually been in the closing bell show just about every day. So kind of get a lot of Brian talking about swing trades and everything else that last 45 minutes or an hour of the markets. As always, you've got Carlos's Class 1 onboarding live at 8 p.m. this evening in Monday night in the chat in the classroom. Tuesday, Thursday at noon is Eamon's trade reviews in the classroom, and then Wednesday is the 8 p.m. is the normal time for our success webinars. They do occasionally move around a little bit. Speaking of success webinars, this week, go back. Speaking of success webinars, this week is Robert Green from Green Trader Tax, talking about all things U.S. taxes for traders, whether it's Section 475, mark-to-market accounting, elections, or trader tax status. He will be here to give a presentation and answer all your questions. Next week, we've got Creta talking about finding your mental edge, how to think and trade like a professional athlete to gain a mental edge in the markets. No psychology. This is a misprint. So skip over that one. Member trade of the day, Monday through Thursday. That we've got a couple of weeks off of psychology webinars, guys. They're redoing some of the psychology stuff. So that will be updated soon and back to a normal schedule. Member trade of the day, please, if you want to participate in this, mark up your, take a screenshot and mark up your trade. Post it on Twitter by 1:30 Eastern. Put all your thoughts in there, why you're trading it, entries, exits, and such. Tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike B BBT, and at Norm BBT. Use the hashtag BBT family. Winner will be announced in the closing bell show by Mike and on Twitter each Friday. We will pick the winner for the week from Monday through Thursday. That winner will get a $100 Amazon gift card. If you're watching us on YouTube and you haven't been in the chat, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code PREMARKET24 to get a discount off the normal $39 rate. That's 7 calendar days, 5 trading days, and including Carlos's onboarding class each Monday night, and does not auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. Speaking of the market's closing bell show, catch Brian, Peter, and Mike Monday through Thursday, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. Live streamed on YouTube. Good morning, Dr. Katz.
Good morning, guys. How are you today?
Great. How are you?
Good. So for a little Mindfulness Monday, I thought I would talk about a question that I get asked frequently, which is, how can I stop comparing myself to other people? This is a common thing in life and a common thing in trading. And just a little backstory to this. I'm not a huge consumer of self-help books, but one of the books that I often recommend that I love, which was written a few years ago, is called Grit, which is a book about passion, perseverance, and resilience by the psychologist Angela Duckworth. I think she's at the University of Pennsylvania now. One of the reasons I love this book is, although it came out a few years ago, it really embodies for me my foundational philosophy that I've had working with not only clients in a clinical setting and patients years ago, but also with athletes and for traders for the last 15 years or so. So what happened recently was Angela Duckworth and another writer, Stephen Dubner, have a very interesting podcast called No Stupid Questions. And they raise this kind of topic of how can you stop comparing yourself to other people? Because that is usually kind of a bad thing for most of us to do, but often it's human instinct. And why we do it, actually, it's interesting. Comparing oneself, kids never do it because kids are very egocentric and they just kind of thinking about yourselves. And then where comparing yourselves gets heightened is often in adolescence. And all of us can remember thinking like, are we as smart as that person? Are we as attractive? Are we as popular? Are we as a good athlete? The heightened sense of comparison in adolescence. But comparing ourselves to other people continues often throughout our lives. And this social comparison aspect can be helpful, but it could also be detrimental, seeing are we better or worse than others. Sometimes it can be motivating, but very often when we compare ourselves, we are doing it in a way that we are looking at other people who are doing things better than us. And often that becomes making us feel demotivated, often makes us feel like we're failures. It actually can fuel a lot of insecurity and a loss of self-confidence. So this is where it really becomes a problem. This upward comparison is very problematic in this day and age with social media, because if you think about Instagram or something, people are posting the beautiful pictures of how they look, or their beautiful walk on a sunny night on the beach, or this wonderful meal they've cooked. Very few people are posting pictures of themselves in, filthy sweatpants, haven't shaven in a week, where it's pouring outside, or their burnt chicken that they've kind of burnt for 3 days in a row. Nobody's really doing that. So people get a skewed and false sense of the world out there, because the sense is that everybody has these beautiful, wonderful lives, look beautiful, cook great meals. So this could lead often for a lot of people to kind of a downward spiral. Now, the key is, how do you aspire to kind of view comparisons in a more positive impact? That's really kind of what it's important to do. Can you look to others as a guide to get better? So let me just give you actually a personal indication that Norm and Carlos will know well. I've been a practicing psychologist for many, many years. I feel actually very competent, capable, and confident in my abilities and what I do. When I started doing these little Monday morning hits, this was a new area for me. It was new, and in the beginning, I felt I was doing a really lousy job. I kind of felt like I was looking at my notes too much. It was too stilted. In comparison to my other psychology work, it felt really less good. And Norm and Carlos would give me feedback. Hey, the community loves it. It was great. And I would have this disconnect. It felt terrible to me because somehow I was comparing myself to some seasoned TV person like who is great at this. And in fact, it was new to me. So then I started focusing on ways to get better. They were suggesting, hey, listen, just stick to the content. You're great. And as I started thinking about ways to get better and not comparing myself to some unrealistic norm, I relaxed more, and hopefully the content I brought is better and more informative. So that was a key shift for me. Now, very often, where does all of this start for us? Very often it's our early experiences in life, how we're brought up with parents and mentors, and how if we're supported for how we are as opposed to comparing each other. But we can all train ourselves to use comparisons to get better. And that is a key. If you find yourself comparing yourself, which makes you feel less secure and worse, and actually can lead some people to even quit what they're doing if they view that they have that not ability. In the old days when there was not social media, if you were a teenage basketball player, you could look at NBA players and say, oh, they're great. Now you can see every 14-year-old basketball player in the world posting videos, and some people feel less than because you have access to how good or not so good everybody is in the world. So a key thing is how to use it to aspire yourself. So actually, one of the things I wanted to bring up with Norm, with you and Carlos, is one of the things Bear Bull Traders has done in the last couple of months is to point out like the trade of the day or the trade of the week. And it's a great concept because you're highlighting a trade and pointing out something successful that somebody has done. And people can learn from that. What I would maybe suggest is that what may also be useful, just in light of what I said about how I approach this work with myself, is that it may be useful that the senior traders at Bear Bull Traders, Carlos, Norm, Andrew, Mike, Peter, maybe each day you post your lousy trade of the week. Not to kind of point out that you too can make lousy trades, even though you are successful traders. Although I think that it's important for the average trader to see that even really good traders make mistakes. But in posting your lousy trade of the week, you mention and you point out what went wrong with that trade, what you learned from that trade, and what you will do better moving forward. I think that could help provide a less skewed view of this kind of upward comparison, like we are only posting our great trades of the day. We learn a great deal from our mistakes. And if you could model, hey, part of trading is making mistakes and making poor trades, the key is not to put yourself down, judge yourself harshly, and lose your confidence. The key when you make a poor trade is to look at what you did, identify the problems there, and try to make corrective action. So it really comes down to, which do you care more about? You care more about feeling better or getting better? We all like to feel good, but the truth is, if we focus our attention and our energy on finding ways to get better, if we get better, we feel better. And I will tell you, as my Monday morning hits here have gotten better, I feel better. If I focus so much on feeling better, that energy would have not gone on improving my performance, and it would have been hard to improve my feelings. So that's what I got for you today. And maybe you guys can think about that idea of posting that lousy trade of the week for each of you, not to out you as a lousy trader, but to kind of model how you approach trades that you've done poorly and how you learn and grow and build from there.
Thank you, Dr. Katz. Yeah, interesting idea. We actually do have one of the mods, and a number of us will post on occasion a bad trade or something that got messed up. But John, one of our newer mods, actually posts every day his best trade of the day and his worst trade of the day. And often you learn more from the worst trade than you do from the best trade. That's for sure. And I couldn't agree with you more about comparing yourself to others and letting that interfere with yourself, not only in trading, but really every day of your life. And just one last thing is thank you for sticking with it and persevering through it, because your segments have become very valuable and are loved by the members.
Well, I appreciate that greatly, guys. That's very good. And look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Take care, Doc.
Okay.
All right, excellent stuff. Let's make sure we give Dr. Katz a thumbs up there on YouTube. So thank you for that. We really, really appreciate it and look forward to every Monday to get this amazing advice. All right, let me get back into character here. Always happens to me, man. He comes on and you just forget you're actually doing the show and start paying so much attention to the value he's giving there. So let's look at our list here, guys. We have quite a bit on here. I'm going to scan through this first. I know some stuff is going to come off pretty fast off of this. Foot Locker, I'm going to keep here, guys. Good volume right now, up 11%. Again, they gave guidance, so this is what's causing this nice pop this morning. Again, they went as high as 35 here. So again, a little bit of a drop this morning, but hopefully at the open, we're going to start getting some volume. For this type of stock, this pre-market action, guys, is great. Keep in mind, this is a nicey stock. Normally does not trade heavy on volume. For the most part, look at their regular daily volumes, about 4 million shares or so. Horrible daily chart. But again, the few times that we have traded this one has been on news, just like this one. Again, they released guidance. So I'm going to keep it on here. CGC, for the most part, I think has great volume as well, 584. Another nicey stock. Usually does not have great pre-market action unless we're going to have a good day. I think today that could be it. So I'm going to keep that one on here as well. I'm going to take off, guys. Pre-market action, it's just compared to Foot Locker, right? Look how clean this is, and this is a nicey stock. So consider this even better than a regular NASDAQ stock. CGC also nice, not as great, but nice clean movement here. We do have a pop as well. And then this one, just look how chopped up this one is, right? So I don't like what I'm seeing here. It does have some volume. It has been halted already, looks like, for whatever, maybe for some news or something. That's, you got this T on here. This T means trading has resumed. That means at one point it was halted. So I'm going to remove this one off the list, guys. Let's take this one out. JMIA, this one here, it's got a good daily. I like the possibility of a breakout here. Good day on Friday. We have tested some previous highs here. We could keep this one on here for now. Twitter, guys, good volume right now, 805 at the moment, and up 2.4. So again, this thing has been in a lot of news lately, so let's see what happens there. Apple's pre-market looks great, so I'm going to keep this one on plug, guys. I am going to move this down to a possible. Again, I know me, I'm probably not going to watch this one anyways, but we'll move it down to a possible. NKLA continues to rip high here, guys. Broke out around 850 here with some news of some garbage trucks being ordered from them, and now you can see a beautiful pop here, leaving this area of prior resistance. So I like what I'm seeing here. Hopefully does not get too extended. And IBIO, again, I don't like the way this one moves, but the pre-market action, guys, does look nice on this one. Not too bad. So we'll keep it on here for now. And then as our possibles list, let's run through this. SRNE is good. D-Dog, I'm going to remove. I think this one, again, after we see such a big drop the previous trading day, this day might just be choppy until it figures out what it wants to do. Might not be the case, but that's usually what I'm seeing on these. VXRT doesn't look great, guys, today. We'll keep it on here for now. Omer will keep on here. Candy, I'm going to remove. Let's get rid of this one. FSLY, I'm going to keep on here. This one could be very explosive and give us some opportunities. MCRB is the one that is not a low flow stock, but I have it here as the risky stock of the day that's very active. All right, let's start with Foot Locker, guys. Again, great pop here, pre-market high all the way at 35.59. So let's mark that down. Towards the bottom, we do have 31.38, an area of great resistance. You can see here we tested that a couple of times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times here on the daily chart. Below that, guys, another great area right on here around 29.29. If you draw a line there, you can see several days opening and closing around that level, using it as resistance and then as support. Now, yes, Foot Locker, guys, does not have. This is not a great daily chart. It's very choppy, but you see where some of these price targets have played an important part in the last couple of weeks here, like 29.29 and 31.38. Towards the top, above the price action, above this 31.38, you do have 32, also a moving average 32.83. A good moving average hitting that there as well. And then towards the bottom, guys, you got plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Let's see what Foot Locker wants to do at the open when the volume comes in. Again, right now, this spike up at down $5 from their pre-market high this morning. So it does have a pretty nice range so far and some good volume. Again, for the most part, but they're trading about 4 million shares a day. Right now, we already have almost about 500. So that tells you that it's more volume than what they're used to seeing pre-market here. CGC, guys, high of the pre-market sitting at 1841. So we'll do that. Besides that, I think you're pretty much covered, guys. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. You got tons of moving averages coming in here, as well as the 200, guys. The 200 is right in here, slightly below the price action. I'm going to mark that one down on the daily at around 1793. And then aside from that, you have plenty of levels already. Do not need to add any more. JMIA, this one here, again, possible continuation. High of the pre-market sitting at 2164. The top of the most recent high here at 2379. And then towards the bottom, the last 2 trading days and the previous day close got you covered here with some good support towards the bottom there. So again, very active pre-market action. This is a nicey stock. Has been trading very well over the last couple of days, ripping higher here. Big drop here a couple of days ago, but did find this support at 16. We're ready to go for another run here. Here's Twitter, guys. Again, pre-market got some volume on it, 822, and that's good pre-market volume for Twitter at the moment. Again, nice little drop here. High of their pre-market at around 40.52. Right up here. So we'll mark that down. And then towards the bottom, guys, you really don't have a lot of levels in this daily right now. But I am going to mark down this area of resistance a couple of weeks ago at 38.47. You see several days banging their heads on that, and also this day closing around that 38.47. And then the price action right now is stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Previous day closed towards the bottom. The low of the pre-market slightly lower than that level, sitting at around 37.66. So we'll mark that down. Again, getting a little bit choppy here the last hour or so. Let's see if it's going to break out in one way or another here on Twitter. Apple, guys, has an amazing pre-market action, probably the best pre-market action this morning that we have seen. Right now, in the middle of the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, but let's mark down the high of the pre-market at 452.43, and then the low of the pre-market just slightly above the previous day close at 445.40. So we'll mark that as well. Again, I don't think you need to add any more levels. I love the daily here, guys. It has gapped up huge, kept that gap here, beautiful continuation, nice consolidation, and can possibly break out this area of resistance that we have here for the last 2 days. So let's see how that plays out. Nicholas continues to rip higher here. I'm going to mark the pre-market high here at a 42.26. Might not stay there for long the way this thing is moving. If we look at our daily chart, we do have a level here at 39.83 right off this doji type candle here. And then towards the bottom, guys, your pre-market low, pretty much the previous day close, 36.72. And then the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days around that previous day close pretty much got you taken care towards the bottom. So here we have a little bit of rejection here at 42.26 on the 5. Again, not sure if we have the juice to break out of that. But if we do, guys, let's look at our daily going back here to the left. 45.26, a great area there. And also you do have this 48.90. And obviously you can keep going up here and get more levels. But I think these 2 are great levels. If we can get anywhere near this, we're definitely going to be in good shape today with NIA and KLA. IBIO, again, great pre-market action, guys. I'm not really a fan of this. I do like the fact that we're banging our heads against this pre-market high over at 470, 480 to be exact. And you can see how that has been a great area of resistance for about 2 weeks here. We have not been able to break out of that. We did dip lower here, hit 350 or so, 363, and then we're now back up at this 480 with some incredible volume, 4.9 million shares traded. Do we have the juice to break out of this? If we do, the next area of resistance that can be a target would be 519, and above that you do have 464. So I'm just going to fine tune my list here, guys, a little bit. I'm going to move down IBIO. For me personally, it's just a difficult one to read. But if you like this stock, the daily does look great, and also the pre-market action. As far as Foot Locker, I'm going to keep on here. CGC is good, guys. Good pre-market action right now. JMIA, you know what? I'm going to move this down. I might not even have 6 today. Things are not looking all that great. I'm going to move down this one as well. Let's get rid of that one. I think now this is a good list. So I like what I have on my list now. So I have Foot Locker, CGC, Twitter, Apple. Apple is great, guys. Look at this beautiful, beautiful pre-market action. And NKLA this morning looks good as well. So, all right, let's take a look. Norm, anything you like before we look at the rest of the moderators?
I'm trading MGM right here.
Oh, MGM. Let's take a look. Very nice. Beautiful breakout in NGM here, guys. Wow. What's the news on it? Anything?
Yeah, they got a fund filed that they had taken a significant investment in MGM.
All right, excellent. Let's look at MGM, guys. We got some high of our pre-market right now, which looks like it's about to get broken. 22.48. No, I'm assuming you're long here and enjoying this right now.
Yeah, I'm almost out of it.
Sweet. And then we have 20.74 down here, and then towards the bottom, guys, plenty of highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So let's keep this one on here too, because very similar to NKLA, also had a nice big pop here out of nowhere with some good volume. So let's keep an eye on these two. All right, let's go over to our moderators, see what we got going on there. Let's start with Thor. He's watching Twitter, Apple, CGC, and the scanners. Again, notice how a lot of the moderators have a very tight list today because, again, there's not a lot out there that looks great. And then notice some of the stocks that are watching. I think everybody has Apple on their list. I think everybody has, I think so for the most part, Facebook, Foot Locker. You know, that we're watching the same thing, CGC. So a very tight list this morning. So John is looking for the breakouts on his watch list. So he's looking for Apple, BA, Nvidia, and DDOG. Mike is looking for also breakouts on the low or highs of the days on the scanners. He has a great scanner, by the way, that he looks for this opportunities. Facebook, Apple, and Foot Locker, very similar tickers there. Eamon, Apple, American Airlines, SLV. On his secondary, he has NEO, Plug, and MCRB. Peter's watching Apple, AMD, of course. AMD is always on Peter's list. CGC, and then the secondary list, Foot Locker, NKLA, and Plug. And then Tiffany has CGC, Apple, and scanners, and NKLA. Again, everyone has a very, very similar list this morning. Let's see what else we have. Here's Andrew. He's just released his list. His list is WKHS, NKLA, CGC, Apple, MGM, which again just started to get going. So I have that on my list as well. And he also has a Plug on there on his list also. Let's take a look at MGM here. Continues to rip nicely. Yeah, so MGM definitely active out of nowhere, guys. Getting a good pop here. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining the pre-market show. Oh, wait, hold on. We do have Brian came in with his list. He has Foot Locker, OSTK. Now, you've been watching OSTK for some time, Brian. Last couple of days as well. And look at this stock just ripping here, guys, over the last couple of days. This stock was sitting at $22, now at 106. So again, he's watching OSTK, MGM, CGC, and also MOXC. That is a low flow garbage, as he's saying there. I'm just reading what he wrote. And yeah, so be careful with this one. This one's very active. I noticed that Brian always has one of these low flow garbage on his list.
I guess he's just bored at home from the pandemic or something, because this is new.
Yeah, he usually doesn't do this, but he started doing this. Yeah, he started doing this the last couple of days, so we'll see how that works out. Guys, thank you so much for joining the pre-market show on YouTube. We're going to continue to fine-tune our list over in our chat room for the members. Again, if you have not tried out our chat room right now is a great time to do it, because you can get the week package, right, or the promotion, and then you can join me tonight at 8 p.m. for the onboarding class. You could also do the 14-day free trial on that. So do all those things together. Get a whole feel for this week, and if you're not ready, then we'll do it next week. So we'll have the class again on Monday. Take care, guys. Trade safe, and we will see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. I guarantee you it's not going to cost you anything. You would not get billed. So hit that. Me and Norm really, really appreciate it. We're trying to get all-time high there if we can. So thank you so much, guys, and take care.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. See you tomorrow morning.